All right.
What's up, everybody? Coming to you live from sunny side, as you can see, North Carolina. I told a friend that my best friend actually, I would come out here and check him out and his football endeavors. But it just goes to show that no matter where it is that you are in this world today, you are able to run your business efficiently through the Zoom platform. Zoom is meant to be a multiplier. Multiplier no matter where it is that you are in the world. So with that being said, I just want to see Marin, if you could text Mandar real quick. I'd like for him to be on this if possible. Um, Today we have a subject that, if you ask yourself, what is the one thing that I can do to grow my business where focused on this one thing, everything else that I want to happen for my life, for my goals, for my family, if I were to focus and execute on this one thing, it would amplify and multiply everything else. That one thing is recruiting. And everybody that comes to our Zoom room, it's going to consistently be this message. I have deviated one time, and I remember I was in Miami when I did this, one time on trainings towards products, and it was for universal life. Oh, no, twice. Universal life insurance, and somebody asked me to do an investments training. Other than those two times, I stood tried and true to the one thing that actually leads me to all of those things. X amount of life insurance clients, $1 million of investment volume in 1 month. That all came from recruiting new talent that which took me to go see more clients. So today, I'd like to ask everybody to turn your snooze button off. Okay? If you wake up in the morning to an alarm clock, most people they turn the snooze button on, as opposed to getting up to the beat of the alarm. And most people do that in Primerica with the Primerica opportunity as well. And I'm here to tell each and every one of you that there's more value that most people place mentally on the Primerica opportunity. The Primerica opportunity can also be known as a perpetual money machine. And we're also going to talk about how to address adversity that you may endure or incur when making the decision to recruit. Okay, how do you deal with that? We're gonna get to that towards the tail end of our intervention today, but for now, I want to highlight why it's so important to make the decision to become a top recruiter. Okay, now what is a perpetual money machine? I'd like for you guys to imagine you guys came over to my house and you went inside of my garage. Let's say I wasn't a top producer, a top recruiter, nothing. I just simply got started with Primerica. Like you guys, I submitted my independent business application for $125. Okay. And you come over to my house, in my garage, on the way into the house, you see a weird looking contraption where the parts of the contraption are all over the place. And you ask me, hey, Josh, what's that? And I say, oh, that's actually my perpetual money machine. You say, what? What's that? How does that work? Well, basically what happens is if I assemble this machine properly, it will print out $100,000 per year for the rest of my life without me needing to do anything. You say, wow, I never heard of a machine like that. Where did you get it? Well, actually, a coworker introduced me to the machine, or maybe it was somebody you met in passing, or maybe it was a family member. Somebody introduced you to it. You got referred to it. Somebody offered the opportunity to purchase this perpetual money machine. You say, wow, how much did it cost? Oh, it was $125. Really? It was $125 for a machine where, if you assemble it properly, will print out money 100 to the tune of $1,000 a year in the next 12 to 24 months if properly assembled. You only paid $125 for it? Yep, pretty much. Well, how come it's just sitting in your garage? Why is there dust all over the parts? When's the last time you attempted to assemble this perpetual money machine? You say, oh, I'm busy. Josh, or better yet, Shondell, I've got Lelix, and Lelix likes to do, whatever Lelix likes to do, and I got the kids, right? I'm busy. My family needs me. I got the job. I got to pay bills. I say, right, but this machine, I've never heard of it. You're telling me if you actually focus on putting it together, it prints out money without you needing to be there? What could be more important than that, Josh? Are there any instructions on this? Like how to put it together? Is there a manual? Well, actually, we have assembly class twice a week, actually, on Saturday morning from 9:30 to 11:30 and Tuesday from 9 to 10 p.m. They teach us how to assemble this perpetual money machine. Oh, wow. So there's a class. How often do you show up? Whenever I get a chance, I'm busy. I got bowling. And that's super important. It's for my health. Okay, so if you had a perpetual money machine that actually printed out money, if you assembled it correctly, to the tune of $100,000 per year without you needing to show up in the next 12 to 24 months, you personally, how much energy and time would you give towards it? Would you leave it in the corner of your garage where it gets all dusty and the spiders get on it? Or would you actually care for it very, consciously? Not just I'll get around to it, but a conscious decision to make it the most important thing that you do in your entire life outside of God and family. Would you call it a spare time hobby, or would it be a full-time focus? Because if you treat something like a spare time hobby and you don't make it your priority, you will get paid as if it were a hobby. I have a hobby myself. I sponsor a flag football team in the Fairfax County, Virginia Flag Football League. This is a hobby. Let me tell you how much money I make by doing that. Answer, none. As a matter of fact, I spend money to play. It's a hobby of mine. And if you treat recruiting like a hobby, you will get paid like as if it were a hobby. Now, what does a perpetual money machine look like? I'd like to share my screen for 1 second here so you guys can see what an actual perpetual money machine looks like. And the answer is the circles. This is what a perpetual money machine looks like. And it starts with you in the middle. And everybody starts off building this perpetual money machine the same exact way, with just them showing up. Nothing, no one but them. But you go and you find 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 or 20 individuals where some of them may not value the opportunity to build a perpetual money machine. And so they just go focus on, mastering products and getting clients. And they potentially burn out. But some of them will want to build pods of people. If you look at these, they look like little pods. Okay? They want to build teams of people. And Shondell here is going to get into compound recruiting, not onesie twosies. In the Bible, it talks about multiplication all over the place. Multiplication, right? And so she's going to get into that, but that's the image of what it looks like. And so can you stop sharing your screen for a second? Sorry. I'd like for you guys to think about what is an asset for your notes. An asset. An asset is something that you own of value with potential to increase in value over time. You must understand that the difference between the lower class, middle class, and upper class is how they view an asset. To someone in the lower class, which I came from, they say, man, if I could just have that car. They view that as the most valuable asset in their life because they never got taught any better. But the car is worth what? $40,000, $50,000. That's the average amount of a car today. And it depreciates over time in value. That a car is a machine, but that machine goes down in value over time. The middle class says, man, if I could just have that house. And the house on average $500,000. And at least that one can go up over time. But the wealthy, the upper class mindset, they understand that our greatest asset is our ability to generate income. But there's different types of income out there. How you think about this recruiting is everything, because you're not going to attract the type of person that you want to attract if you don't understand and can articulate these things to a potential recruit. They don't understand what an asset is. You've got to elaborate in a simple way. See, the average American is going to earn $50,000 per year over their work-life span. That's 40 years. 40 times 50,000 is $2 million. What's a bigger number? The house that costs 500,000 or the time span where you accumulate $2 million? So therefore, our ability to earn income is our greatest asset, mathematically speaking. But how you earn that income is everything. So what are overrides? Overrides are when you can transfer what's in your brain, skills-wise, products-wise. It's a transfer of skill to another human being, whereby when they execute that skill, you get paid. That's what an override is. And they don't just exist in Primerica or in financial services. They exist in the car industry. They exist in the real estate industry, right? Do you want to work for the rest of your life? Do you want to have to do appointments with clients for the rest of your life? Marin and I went through some adversity this week and still we did a bunch of appointments. And I had a conversation with Marin, okay, about people value what they don't have, and they don't value what they have until the time becomes necessary. If I were on the toilet and there was no toilet paper next to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, toilet paper, please. See, we need it. We want to have, the goal is to have something that you don't need, so that you can prepare against needing it but not having it. And for example, there was a daily boost for all of you guys that see on POL. There's like a little, clip every day. They put up a new one. That's why it's called a daily boost of some leader in Primerica. And there was a $1 million earner. Guy's been making $1 million in Primerica since 1980. I think he's like 65 today. And he said, imagine that the only way you made money was you're making your living was by talking, like using your mouth. And one day you have a stroke. That's what happened to me. And he's on stage at a convention talking about this. He had a stroke and he could not speak out of his mouth. And that's how, that one might think in financial services, that's how you make your living. So what now? But he almost started crying because Art Williams, the founder of Primerica, taught him compound recruiting. 3 who get 3 who get 3 who get 3. Because when he had that stroke, they would ask him questions like, are you hungry? And he would say, I don't, right? He couldn't understand. But when they wrote it down on word, like in word format, then he would understand. But he couldn't talk. He couldn't go get another client. The great news was he had already built an organization of 5,000 licensed representatives. And the $100,000 from a month from the Perpetual money machine that he assembled remained coming in, right? And so that leads me to my next question. What is ownership? What is ownership? Ownership is an end to the cost. An end to you paying the price, an end to you asking other people, do you want to join my business? An end to you asking other people, would you like to sit down with me and talk about life insurance, investments, and mortgages? It's an end to that, but a continuation to the benefit. That's what ownership is. That's what ownership is. Yes, please. Ownership is an end to the continuation. I'm sorry, an end to the cost, but a continuation to the benefit. Imagine one day you don't have to show up and clock into work. You don't have to take a commute to work. You can stay home with your little baby son, your little baby daughter. This can happen in T-minus 12 months from today. And you never have to clock into a job ever again. You could do whatever you want, go wherever you want, whenever you want. I'm in North Carolina right now because my friend asked me, can I come support him? Yes, you bet. Absolutely. Who do I have to ask? Nobody. How long can I stay? As long as I like. Right? It's complete freedom when you have ownership. But these are the questions, these are the thoughts of a builder that leads them to riches. The perpetual money machine does not get sick, but you do. The perpetual money machine does not get tired, but you do, and you will. The perpetual money machine does not get old, but guess what? You do, I will. The perpetual money machine does not make excuses, no matter what happens. Oh, well, my mother's sick, my father's sick. Hey, none of that matters to the perpetual money machine. The perpetual money machine doesn't care what's going on in your life. It will still continue to print you, and when you're gone, your kids, your grandkids, money. The perpetual money machine doesn't die. But guess what? You and I will. The perpetual money machine, it grows without you doing anything. Without you doing anything. As a matter of fact, they say if assembled properly, it will actually, the less work you do, the more money you will make. If assembled properly. If we could go to the next slide here. Look, I titled this slide, "The Answers Are in the Questions." That's actually a book, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. If you guys Google "The Answers Are in the Questions," I think that's a book. But Bruce Kalk, who's a $1 million mentor of mine, right, been making $1 million since 1990 in Primerica, he says, the quality of the questions that you ask determine the quality of answers you get. And I believe if you're speaking to a client or a recruit, the end answer you'd like is, yes, I'd like to join your business. Yes, I'd like to buy your product. Yes. You're looking for yes. But the quality of questions you ask determine how often you get that yes. So if the quality of questions you ask a potential recruit or a potential client matter, why wouldn't the questions that you ask yourself matter? As a matter of fact, they're even more important. The questions you ask yourself will determine the answers you give yourself. And the answers you give yourself determine the standards you keep. And the standards you keep determine the results that you get. So, first question is, what does your future look like without a perpetual money machine? If you don't assemble a machine that works without you